There are days when you look in the mirror and feel like time has been unfair to you. You wake up with a heavier body, duller skin, and lower energy. And the worst part is not even that, but how you start to notice that others see it too. Young people speak to you condescendingly, your kids treat you like a burden, and the world seems to move faster than you can keep up. Does aging mean resigning yourself? I'm Gabriel, and today I want to tell you something that maybe no one has told you this clearly. Old age doesn't hit you suddenly. It's built day by day with your decisions. It's not just about the years, it's about your habits. Some of them are taking more life from you than you think, and you haven't even realized it. If you're still here, it's because deep down, you know you're not willing to give in to the wear and tear, that you want to keep your mind sharp, your body strong, and your spirit free. So stick around until the end, because we're going to uncover those silent habits that are aging you prematurely, and most importantly, we're going to learn how to get rid of them before it's too late. Number 1, you complain instead of adapting. You've probably heard it before. Times have changed. Life isn't like it used to be. People were different. And yes, it's true. But what good does it do to repeat it like a mantra of frustration? Does complaining change anything? No, it only drains you. It steals your energy, locks you in a barren lament, and worst of all, it ages your soul faster than the years. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote in his Meditations that it's not the external world that disturbs us, but our interpretation of it. Life has never been fair, it has never followed the script we expect, and yet those who manage to stay strong are not the ones who spend the day lamenting, but those who learn to adapt. Rigidity is a death sentence for the spirit. A tree that's too stiff breaks in the wind, but the reed bends and survives. Maybe you feel like the world no longer has a place for you, that everything moves forward without stopping to ask if you can keep up. Perhaps your family isn't the same. Your children have taken different paths, and you see yourself becoming more and more alone. You wonder if you still have something to offer, if you're more of a burden than a valuable presence. It's a painful thought, but here's the truth that few want to accept. Life is not going to stop to accommodate your nostalgia. It didn't when you were young, and it won't now. Science has proven that chronic stress accelerates cellular aging. Every time you get caught in frustration and complaint, your body responds as though it's in danger, releasing hormones that damage your immune system, affect your memory, and wear down your heart. It's as if, with each lament, you're adding extra weight to your back, making you slower, more tired, and aging prematurely. But there's another way to live. It's not about resigning yourself, but about redirecting your energy. Instead of spending your days on what you can no longer change, on what you've lost, or what won't return, you can focus on what's still under your control. Epictetus said that we don't have power over events, but we do over our response to them. Ask yourself, what can you do today to improve your life instead of lamenting what was? How can you turn your independence into a strength instead of a source of sadness? Time keeps moving with or without your permission. The only question that matters is this: will you continue to carry the weight of complaint, or will you choose to walk lighter? Because in the next point, I'll talk to you about something many ignore until it's too late: the silent damage you do to your body every time you eat without thinking. Number 2, you eat as if your body didn't matter. In the winter of 1924, British explorer George Mallory attempted what few dared: to climb Mount Everest with the means available at the time. Without supplemental oxygen in clothing we would now consider inadequate, and with rudimentary supplies, Mallory relied on his physical endurance and strong determination. But the mountain doesn't forgive negligence. His body, weakened by the lack of proper nutrients and extreme exhaustion, couldn't withstand the final ascent. Mallory disappeared into the snow, and his body was found 75 years later, intact, frozen in the same mistake many make, underestimating the importance of food as a survival tool. You might think that your life has nothing to do with climbing a mountain, but in reality, every day is an expedition against wear and tear. What you eat is not just a matter of pleasure or habit, it's the fuel with which you face the journey. And yet, how many times have you eaten carelessly, not thinking about what you're putting into your body? How many times have you chosen the easiest, fastest, most processed food without considering that every bite is either an investment or a debt to your health? Seneca warned that moderation is the key to self-control. Excess weakens just as much as lack. Eating without awareness doesn't just affect your body, it also affects your mind. Science confirms this. Ultra-processed foods cause chronic inflammation, accelerate cellular aging, and deteriorate brain function. It's no coincidence that those who eat poorly not only look older, but also think and feel older than they really are. There is a dangerous belief among those over 50 that it's too late to change, that the damage is done, that it doesn't matter what they eat now. It's a comfortable and destructive lie. Your body is more resilient than you think. Cellular regeneration happens daily. The ability to heal is within you, but only if you give it the right tools. With every meal, with every choice, you decide whether you're strengthening or weakening yourself. Imagine for a moment if Mallory had had the knowledge and preparation we have today. Perhaps his story would have been different. And now think about yourself. What changes can you make today so that your story doesn't end prematurely? Because aging isn't just a matter of years, it's about how you treat your body with every decision. And there's an even more destructive habit that deteriorates your youth without you realizing it. We'll talk about that next. Number 3, you avoid effort and choose comfort. Do something right now. Clench your fist tightly and hold it like that for a few seconds. Feel the tension in your muscles, the pressure on your fingers. Now, slowly release it. That relief you experience when you let go wouldn't exist without the previous effort. And that's how everything works in life. Without resistance, there is no growth. Without effort, there is no strength. The problem is that comfort has deceived us. It tells us that rest is the most important thing, that avoiding effort is some sort of right earned with age. But the truth is different. The body that doesn't move weakens. The mind that isn't challenged becomes dull. Epictetus made it clear, no man is free who is not master of himself. And to be master of yourself, you must face discomfort, learn to see it as an ally rather than a punishment. I suggest something simple but revealing. Tomorrow, upon waking, before doing anything else, immerse yourself in cold water for a few seconds. It doesn't matter if it's in the shower or a container with ice-cold water. You won't like it. It will make you want to back out. But if you resist, if you endure that first instinct to run away, you will have gained more than just a few seconds of discomfort. You will have proven that you can overcome the impulse to always choose the easy way. This exercise isn't new. The Stoics practiced it as a way to temper their character. Modern science backs it up. Exposure to cold activates resistance mechanisms in the body, strengthens the immune system, and awakens the mind. But what's most important is what happens to your will. Each time you choose to step out of comfort, you reinforce the idea that you are not a slave to your preferences, but the master of your destiny. If this makes sense to you, I want to know. Tell me in the comments what country you're listening from and if you've ever tried a similar challenge. And if you haven't done it yet, I invite you to try it and come back to share your experience. Also, if you like this kind of content that challenges you and helps strengthen your mind and body, subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. The biggest risk of comfort is that it numbs us. It makes us believe we're okay when, in reality, we're slowly fading away. But there's an even greater weight than the one from inaction, and that's clinging to emotional burdens that no longer belong in our lives. It's time to talk about that. Number 4, you hold on to grudges instead of letting go. Imagine you're holding a burning coal in your hand. You're gripping it tightly because you think somehow you'll throw it at the person who hurt you. But the only one getting burned is you. Now tell me, how much longer do you plan to keep holding on to it? Resentment is one of the most powerful poisons that exist. The strange thing is, it doesn't act all at once, like an open wound. It seeps in slowly, settling in your mind, your body, your soul. Recent studies in neuroscience have shown that emotions like resentment activate the same brain areas as physical pain. That is, every time you relive a betrayal, an injustice, or a word that hurt you, your brain processes it as though it's happening again. It's not just a metaphor. Holding on to a grudge is literally continuing to receive the damage. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus said that the offense isn't in what is done to you, but in your interpretation of it. You can carry the bitterness of what someone did to you for years, but tell me, what have you gained from it? Has your pain changed that person, or has it only drained your energy, your days, your health? Try an exercise right now. Close your eyes and think about that person who let you down, that situation that still weighs on your chest. Now imagine opening your hand and letting the burning coal drop. It doesn't mean you justify what happened or forget it right away, but you choose not to keep holding on to that fire that's consuming you. The sense of liberation is real. It won't happen immediately, but every time you repeat this exercise, you'll weaken the weight of that burden until one day you'll realize you're no longer carrying it with you. Holding onto a grudge doesn't change the past. Letting go, on the other hand, does change your future. Don't keep giving your energy to what's already happened. There's so much more to live, but only if you choose to walk without unnecessary burdens. Number 5, you sleep too little and neglect your rest. There's something you can't buy, recover, or negotiate: the hours of sleep you've lost throughout your life. And yet, you keep underestimating its value as if sleeping were a luxury or a whim rather than a fundamental need. Since ancient times, cultures that understood the importance of rest were the ones that thrived. The Romans believed in the 6th hour, a sacred time for rest and recovery in the middle of the day. Even great generals knew that an army without sleep was a doomed army. Today, with all the comforts surrounding us, we've forgotten that wisdom. We live surrounded by screens, worries, artificial lights, and habits that steal our sleep without us even realizing it. And the cost is huge. Science has proven it over and over again. Lack of sleep ages the brain, accelerates memory loss, and weakens the immune system. A study from the University of California revealed that sleeping less than 6 hours per night significantly increases the risk of cardiovascular diseases and cognitive decline. The irony is that many people worry about wrinkles or physical pain, but neglect the most crucial factor in their health and vitality. No cream, supplement, or exercise can replace what sleep does for you every night. Seneca wrote, "Rest itself is a medicine." But not just any rest. Deep, restorative sleep is what truly allows the body and mind to regenerate. Without it, everything else becomes more difficult. Have you noticed how your mood changes when you don't sleep well? Patience wears thin, problems seem bigger, and fatigue makes you irritable. That's no coincidence. Sleep is the great restorer, the one that balances your emotions and gives you clarity to face the day with strength. You might think it's too late to change your sleep habits, that you've spent too many years sleeping too little or waking up several times a night. But the truth is, it's never too late to give your body what it truly needs. Small changes can make a big difference. Turning off screens an hour before bed, taking deep breaths before lying down, or simply sticking to a consistent sleep schedule can transform your daily energy more than you imagine. Think about this. Sleep isn't lost time. It's time gained. It's the only investment in your health that requires no effort, just the decision to prioritize yourself. While you sleep, your body heals, your mind organizes itself, and your spirit finds peace. So, stop neglecting your rest. Don't keep robbing your future of the energy you could reclaim today. Number 6. You're afraid of aging instead of honoring it. If I told you right now that you only have 10 years left to live, what would you do with that time? Would you spend it lamenting wrinkles, counting gray hairs, and complaining about aches and pains? Or would you use it to focus on what truly matters? The problem has never been aging itself, but rather the fear we have of it. Since you were young, society taught you that aging is a defeat. They sold you the idea that vitality has an expiration date and that, after a certain point, all that's left is to endure the passage of time with resignation. But tell me, why should you see age as a threat when it's actually your greatest achievement? Reaching this point means you've survived things others haven't. It means you've learned, you've grown, you've overcome obstacles that once seemed impossible. The Stoics understood well that time is the most valuable resource, but they didn't see it as an enemy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." Instead of fearing old age, they saw it as an opportunity to refine their character, to free themselves from distractions, and to focus on what truly matters. Yet most people do the opposite. They obsess over lost youth, over the things they can no longer do, instead of embracing the wisdom they've gained. They feel sad because they can't run like they used to, but forget that now they have the wisdom to know which paths are worth walking. They worry about the wrinkles on their faces, but ignore the depth they've gained in their gaze. They want to hide the years when they should be celebrating them. Think about all the things you can do now that you couldn't have done when you were younger. You have clarity about who you are, you know what's worth your time and what's not. You've learned how to read people, how to avoid making the same mistakes over and over. So why keep seeing aging as a curse? The only difference between someone who ages with dignity and someone who ages with fear is the perspective they choose to adopt. No matter how old you are, the only thing that matters is what you do with the years you have. Are you going to spend them mourning what's gone, or are you going to use them to build something meaningful with what's left? Don't waste your time fearing the future, because the day your life ends, the last thing you'll want to feel is that you spent too much time worrying about something as inevitable as it is beautiful. Number 7, you surround yourself with people who drain you. The quality of your life doesn't just depend on what you eat, how much you sleep, or how you exercise your body. It largely depends on who you choose to share your days with. The people you spend time with can lift you up or drag you down, renew you or exhaust you, make each day feel lighter or turn it into an unbearable burden. And yet, many people spend their lives surrounded by those who wear them down, those who only bring complaints, envy, criticism, or a hollow presence that adds nothing. Seneca said, "Avoid the company of those who complain about everything. Their poison is contagious." The interesting thing is that he wasn't just talking about psychological influence, but also the physical impact of bad company. Science has shown that being around negative people alters brain chemistry, raises cortisol levels, and weakens the immune system. It's not just an emotional issue. Your body suffers when you surround yourself with people who drain your energy. You might think that at this point in life you can't just walk away from certain people. That family is family, lifelong friends shouldn't be abandoned, and some commitments can't be broken. But tell me, how many times have you left a meeting feeling worse than before it started? How many times have you noticed that certain conversations leave you with less desire to live, less hope, less strength? It's not about cutting ties impulsively, but rather about being aware of what kind of energy you allow into your life. Take a moment to observe who you spend the most time with and how you feel afterward. Ask yourself if those people add to your life or drain from it. Do they help you grow, or do they just keep you trapped in the same endless cycle of complaints? And most importantly, question whether you yourself are one of those people who drains others, whether your presence is a beacon of light or just another shadow in the room. The Stoics knew that true freedom is not only external, but internal. You are not free if you remain tied to dynamics that consume you, to relationships that no longer nourish you. Life is too short to spend it with those who don't value your time or your energy. Surround yourself with those who challenge you to be better, who bring you peace instead of exhaustion, who respect you rather than treating your patience as an endless resource. Because at the end of the road, what truly ages you is not the passing of years, but the weight of those who never knew how to be good company. Number 8, you live in the past instead of the present. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you have a backpack on your shoulders. Inside, there are objects representing every memory you cling to, a lost love, a missed opportunity, a time when you felt stronger, more relevant, more alive. Now imagine each of those objects has weight, that the backpack grows heavier and heavier with every thought about what was and no longer is. How much longer do you plan to carry it? Living in the past is one of the surest ways to age before your time. Not because memories are bad, but because they anchor you to a time that no longer exists. Marcus Aurelius warned that life is only this moment. Everything else is memory or imagination. And yet, so many spend their days reliving what they can no longer change, as if clinging to yesterday could somehow bring it back. The truth is different. Lost time doesn't return, but the present is wasted when you choose to ignore it. Let me suggest a simple yet powerful exercise. When this video ends, take a piece of paper and write down 3 things that have kept you trapped in the past. Maybe it's a relationship that ended, a mistake you can't forgive yourself for, or a time when you felt better physically. Read it out loud, then tear up the paper, not as a meaningless gesture, but as a real commitment to the present. You can't move forward with your feet tangled in what's already gone. Science supports this practice. Studies in neuroscience have shown that the brain rewires itself when we make conscious decisions to let go of the past. It's not magic, it's biology. When you stop feeding certain neural connections, they weaken and make room for new ways of thinking and feeling. In other words, the more you practice letting go, the more natural it becomes to live in the here and now. Buddhist monks have a saying, if you carry the past on your back, you cannot embrace the present with your hands. Let go of the weight. Allow memories to be just that, memories, without letting them define who you are today. Because the true weight of life doesn't lie in the years you've lived, but in how many of those years you've let slip by without truly living them. Number 9, you expect others to fill your emptiness. At 87 years old, Michelangelo was still sculpting with the same passion he had in his youth. His hands, marked by time, continued carving marble with the determination of someone who never expected life to give him meaning on its own. "I am still learning," he said. He never paused to wait for recognition, companionship, or validation. He knew the only inexhaustible source of purpose was within himself. Many people reach a certain age, expecting others to fill the emptiness they feel. They believe happiness will come from their children, grandchildren, a partner who values them, or the attention they feel others owe them. But life doesn't work that way. Those who place their well-being in the hands of others doom themselves to frustration. Epictetus made it clear: if you seek happiness outside yourself, you will be a slave. If you seek it within, you will be free. Modern psychology confirms what the Stoics understood centuries ago. Studies on satisfaction in old age show that those who find purpose in their own growth, creativity, or personal projects live with greater health and fulfillment than those who depend on external validation. The brain responds to activity by forming new neural connections, keeping the mind young and active. It doesn't matter whether it's learning something new, writing, painting, or simply finding joy in daily routines. What matters is that the motivation comes from within, not from outside. Michelangelo worked until his last days because he understood that life never stops offering opportunities to create, grow, and discover. He didn't sit around waiting for someone else to give his life meaning. He built it himself. And that's the difference between those who age with resignation and those who age with dignity. Stop waiting for others to give you what you can give yourself, because the day you choose to fill your own life with what truly matters, you'll realize you never needed anyone else to do it for you. We've reached the end of this journey, and if you're still here, it's because, deep down, you know you still have so much left to live. Age is not your limit, the years are not a barrier, and the time that has passed does not define the time you have left. What truly matters is what you choose to do with each day ahead of you. If there's one thing I want you to remember from this video, it's that aging is not a punishment. It's an opportunity to let go of what weighs you down, to choose what nourishes you, to stop waiting and start building. The habits you cultivate today will determine the quality of your life tomorrow. And the best news is that it's never too late to change. It's never too late to move, to take care of yourself, to learn something new, to live with more awareness and purpose. I'm Gabriel, and if this message has resonated with you, I want you to be part of this community. Subscribe and turn on notifications so we can continue exploring how to live with strength, clarity, and vitality. And if you've made it this far, I want to acknowledge you. You're someone who seeks to improve, who refuses to settle for what they've been told about aging, and that holds incredible value. To show you're one of those who keep growing, no matter the years, leave the phrase, "I am a Stoic" in the comments, and let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to read your message and know this content reached someone who truly needed it. If there's someone in your life who you think needs to hear this, share it with them. Sometimes, a single reflection can be the starting point for deep change. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself this space to think and to grow. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep choosing what truly makes you well.